Hey, this is your quick heads up to this 5-minute quickie to let you know that it's not a 5-minute quickie. Well, it is, but it's got longer. And it's been so important to me to realize where information comes from, intuition comes from. This came from a tiny little entry in my journal this morning. And now it's bloomed into something which is really important to me. And I think I know will be really important to you. Have a good listen. You might want to listen to it twice, you never know. There's a sort of exercise in there. And if you really want, I can always put another hypnosis track in for you to do it. Let me know if you want a hypnosis track, okay? Have a listen. If you're new to this, please listen to the next part of the introduction. It tells you all about the FMQ. If you're not, skedaddle 1.5 minutes or so, and we'll start right then. This is a FMQ, the 5-minute quickie podcast from me, Paul Clough, from this niche of one, hopefully a niche of one, of unplugged personal development. It's to get you thinking, to give you information, to give you some real good snippets of processes that you can use right now in this genre of personal development, breaking things down into simple how-tos that get results. Minimum amount of effort to get the maximum amount of return and make life brilliantly good. Because in this world of personal development, self-improvement, I believe things have been made far too complicated. Or people are talking about things that they just do and they don't explain how they did them. And I'm creating processes to enable you to get those type of results easily and effortlessly. And more importantly, simply. Because as Einstein once said, in simplicity there's genius, so therefore we're going to create things simple. Simples. I want you to encourage you to have your dreams, to notice that sometimes when you haven't got them, it wasn't your fault. Yes, we have to take responsibility for the decisions we made, but we made those decisions with the information, the wisdom we had right then. And now you've got a chance to really create the world you want to live in and create the you want to be fully integrated, being authentic, singing from the right voice, not the right voice, your voice, and become part of this unplugged personal development team, this family, this thing that we're creating, and sharing everything we do with everybody. So please enjoy, have more fun than you can stand, and please just listen and enjoy.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, here we are again. And I'm going to guess when I start mentioning goals and outcomes, you're going to go, oh no, Paul, not more about these outcomes, these goals. But the whole point is personal development is a series of goals, a series of outcomes. Everything you want to do with your life, to me, is an outcome in mind, an outcome that you have an intention to create in your life. Everything that you want in your life, the way you want to feel, is an outcome, isn't it? Something you intend to have, and whether you get it or not, it's not a failure, not a success. It's just a result of what you do, how much you put into this thing. And I know that we've talked about how much you're investing, how much, looking at your resources, is your goals specified in a way that, is it timed, is it smart, all that stuff. I'm not going to go over that again, because you've got those coaching and hypnosis tracks on paulcloughonline.com/podcast. Just go there, listen to the podcast, listen to the, those associated tracks, and you'll get some great stuff. But yet, even with all that, I bet some of you are still like me. In fact, probably most of you, because we've all got goals that we've got in our mind that we still haven't started. I was only thinking about it this morning because I was writing in my journal, and I just couldn't understand why I know there's things that I want to do, and I haven't started it yet. And I know intellectually all the wonderful things that are going to happen. I can imagine it. I can see it in my mind's eye. I can associate into that finished picture. And I can feel the feelings of having done it. And that's all those wonderful things of motivation. But I do wonder, and that was what I was questioning in my journal today, what's stopping me? What's holding me back? Why haven't I made that change? Now, there's a lot of things. If it's really deep, sometimes you need help. You need help with a therapist, someone like myself, and look at those underlying, maybe negative decisions that you've made that have created negative beliefs that just need sorting, and you can do that really quickly. But I thought to myself, there's also, we talk about moving towards that outcome because we have a value in it, because it's important to us. And that's great, because that's moving towards pleasure. And we all want to move towards pleasure, because in the end, that is the most important thing about your goals, where you get your motivation from, because it's all about the pleasure that you're going to derive and arrive with having, succeeded at your goals, achieving the goals better than you ever could dream of. And that's so possible. But sometimes, just sometimes, and quite a lot of sometimes, you need a little bit of you need a little bit of pain to get you off your butt. You really do. And, we move away from pain towards pleasure. So if we're still stuck, I was thinking, how do I work with someone who wants to stop smoking? Well, one of the first things I do is to create or get them to create their own pain for continuing to smoke. And there's a pattern that's been around for some time, an NLP pattern called the Dickens pattern. And it's all about going into the different times of just creating more and more pain, which, the Dickens think they changed. Scrooge, he changed because of all that pain. But I don't like that, and I've adapted it when I use that type of pattern. My sons and I have adapted that pattern to make it more ecological, because if you just leave people in pain and they don't move from that pain, they just know how bad it's really, 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 really going to be. And that to me is not ecological. It's not kind. It's not the right thing. So I've adapted that. So you go from pain to the pleasure. And the whole point of that is, though, we do need sometimes, I know I do, and I've seen it in so many other clients and people I've worked with and trained with, you need that sometimes a little bit of pain to get you off your butt. It could make you a little bit frustrated, could be angry, could be anything which is negative. Sometimes just bam, to get you off your butt and then hook into that pleasure like no one's business, and that'll just pull you forward. So I was thinking, about these goals that I personally haven't started. And they're not big goals, man. They're just stuff that I want to fill in with my time because I know it'll be time well spent. And then, as I say, I can do all these wonderful visualizations of how I want it to be, the last step, getting in there, feeling what it would be like. All these wonderful moves towards. But I wondered, how can we have a little bit of pain, just enough to get us off our butt? Because we can have a goal and we get into action, we do the stuff, and maybe we don't get the results that we want. That's not failure. Because to me, failure is not an option, because it's just a result. And then we have those 5 keys to success. Knowing your outcome, taking massive action, being aware. So being aware of the results you're getting along the way, which is that bit, there is no failure. It's just feedback. So then we can be flexible enough to change our direction, change our actions, to keep heading towards that goal from that wonderful psychology and physiology of excellence. Now that's great. Now, looking back at the other side of that road is, when you've got a goal and you never took it, it's a bit like, well, if I practice more on my guitar, only those 20 minutes a day, if I'd have practiced that over the last 2 months, man, I'd be pretty good. And I look back over quite a few years now, if I'd practice that 10 minutes a day over all that time, man, I'll be pretty good. And you can say that about anything, going to the gym, writing, reading, learning, just doing anything. And we all, we all, I'm talking about myself now. I look back and I say, damn, if only. And that's not a good feeling. And even that isn't painful enough to get me off my butt, because I just think, well, okay, it didn't happen. But here's the thing. Let's not go through that experience of all that time and then having to say, if only, because you know intellectually, you know consciously, cognitively, that if you had have done that small amount of time, you'd have enjoyed spending that time creating that outcome. And I guarantee you, the old Cluffy unplugged guarantee, you'd have exceeded your imagination. Because that's what happens when you put that action in, you put that effort in, and there's a value and importance to it. So I thought to myself, what would happen if we used our timeline, but not the timeline of the past this time, the timeline of the future? If we just imagine what's the direction of our future and closed our eyes and just floated way up above our timeline and just floated in our mind out over the future to a time where we could just look back knowing that maybe we haven't done that goal yet. We didn't start it. We gave up. To that place where we would be when we go, oh, if only, oh, I wish, oh. And then look and understand, what was the return on our investment of not doing the goal? That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? Yeah, the return on the investment of not doing our goal, not taking the action, not putting our heart and soul into this. And notice all the things that didn't happen. Maybe notice some of the emotions that you'll experience along the way of not doing that goal. Maybe there's a bit of frustration, a bit of sadness. Notice that you're still in that same place, even though time has moved forward. Notice the opportunities that didn't come your way. And when you notice all of that, you can float back over the now, back into the now. Open your eyes, and with our old friend, yes, our old friend Jenny Journal, open up that page, a blank page, and write, what is the return on my investment, the old ROI, for not doing what I want to do? And with the experience of your unconscious mind's understanding of what didn't happen in the future, because it didn't happen yet, you can understand and realize that it didn't happen. And all those learnings, you can say, well, actually, I'm going to learn from the future. What? Hey, learn from the future as if it was the past, which is really a wonderful concept to do. And know that you've got to take action, because you don't want that feeling in the future. And it's so easy. Then, when you do that, because you know that didn't happen, because today is today, now's now. Now you can look at your goals, look on the value, why it's so important to you. Write that down in Jenny Journal on the other side. What's my return on the investment of taking action, knowing the outcome, being flexible and keep moving towards it, taking massive intuitive action of those wonderful baby steps that just get bigger and bigger. And realize then you've got the two. And you didn't experience the pain. Yay! Because that's the whole point. Pain and pleasure. But you didn't experience the pain because it hasn't happened. And now you can start taking action. And now you can go over those old podcasts, get those goals and outcomes, the hypnosis tracks, the coaching tracks. You can change your states, get your intentions. They're all there for you. Man, there's a whole system in there. I could put it together and sell it if I wanted to, but it's all there for you. Hey, just go through. But if you do this one little exercise, it could make the difference to your whole life. Wow. And I hadn't really thought about that when I started thinking about this to start off with. All it came from was a little note in my journal, thinking to myself and writing, oh, I wonder why I haven't started these things. Why aren't I doing them? I know the pleasure. I'll get from doing it. There'll be a bit of ego stuff in there because I'm getting better at the skills I've got. But yeah, all from a little journal. And that's the wonderful thing about journaling too. It gives you consciously and unconsciously information. It just comes on the page as you let your pen write. There's some wonderful gems, some diamonds inside you. All you have to do is find them. They're all there. And if you ask, they'll appear. Hey. So I know I've probably gone on way over my 5 minutes of the 5 minute quickie, but I hope you really feel that this is important. It's important to me because it's really helping me think about what am I going to start doing. And what am I going to start doing? I'm going to take each one of those things I haven't done. I'm going to float out into the future to the place that I get to that I wish I had done, if only. And then notice all the things that I didn't get. The return of my investment for not doing them. And then understanding all I've got to do is start. And when I start, I can't fail. Because I can't fail unless I stop. Remember, we've had a podcast about that. If I haven't given up, I can't fail. All I have to keep doing is doing something. Be flexible in my approach, using all the skills, getting in touch with my intention, getting in touch with the right state, all that stuff. We've done it so many times. But I will keep banging on about it. Hey, please let me know if this has been of use to you. Because I'd write to myself and saying it's been of use to me, because it has. Just the mere fact of writing the notes for this and talking about it. And I know where I'm going very soon to get old Jenny journal out and start taking massive action. Not just writing in my journal, but then taking that massive action. Okay then. Sorry about that little sniff. Please enjoy every heartbeat, because whatever you think you are, just know, because I know, you're more than that. See you next time. Bye now. Hey, thanks for listening. And just before you go on to do whatever you're going to do now, I'd just like to ask just a couple of things, really. One is, obviously, I've talked about sharing, and if you could share this podcast to a few people, pay it forward, that would be absolutely awesome. But also, if you go to places like iTunes, subscribe, because subscriptions mean that we go into the charts. It means we spread our word to other people. And also a review would be absolutely even more awesome. Even more awesome. And also know that obviously hypnosis tracks, they're all at paulcloughonline.com/podcast. They're all there for you. They're all downloadable. So you can put them on any device you like. You can keep them forever with my compliments. And you can make up some wonderful things for yourself. Add processes together and have a great time. And also, if you'd also have a look round at paulcloughonline.com, it's the only thing other than my pocket that supports this show. We don't have advertisers. We don't do interviews and things like that trying to get around. So if you'd have a look on there, there's a couple of good, I believe, are really good courses. There's Supreme Inner Confidence, something to allow you to be who you really are. Be authentic. Know that you've got inner strength. You've got all the competence and confidence that you ever want. And there's also Free Your Life from Anxiety. That has 5 days. The first 5 days are absolutely free. You get an email every day with new things to do. And at the end of those 5 days, you may even have let go of that anxiety. That's my aim. And if not, you move on to the next part of the program. They're all there. There's a couple of other paid hypnosis tracks where we've done a series of processes for you, such as creating that inner mind palace and things like that, or real deep relaxation. But anyway, please have a look. It would be great if you did. Love some feedback. You can always contact me through my website, Paul Clough Online. No, it's not. It's paulclough.co.uk. And you can contact me through that webpage. And you can also contact me on email, paul@paulclough.co.uk. Love your feedback. Love your questions. Love you. Okay. Have more fun than you can stand.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.